Party leader Tô Lâm lauds Vietnam-Malaysia relations. And Prime Minister delivers significant speech at BRICS 2024. Later in our world news, South Korea and US begin large-scale joint air exercise.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam, VTV News starts right now.
Good morning. It's currently 8 a.m. local time in Hanoi, and you're watching VTV News. I'm Phie bringing you the latest updates. Party General Secretary Tô Lâm spoke highly of the positive development of Vietnam-Malaysia relations during his reception on Thursday for Tan Sri Dato Johari bin Abdul, Speaker of the Malaysian House of Representatives. The Vietnamese leader welcomed the outcomes of the speaker's talks with Chairman of the National Assembly of Vietnam Trần Thanh Mẫn and praised the effective cooperation between the two countries' legislatures in lawmaking, oversight, and decision-making. He expressed confidence that the Malaysia's ASEAN chairmanship in 2025 would help build a peaceful, stable, cooperative, and prosperous Southeast Asia. He also suggested facilitating economic, trade, and investment cooperation towards the goal of achieving $18 billion in bilateral trade by 2025. Malaysian speaker acknowledged the remarks, affirming that Malaysia could continue to work closely with Vietnam to further promote cooperation and contribute to building a prosperous ASEAN community. Party General Secretary Tô Lâm met with Senior Lieutenant General Giang, Vice Chairman of China's Central Military Commission, on Thursday in Hanoi. Both sides expressed satisfaction with the growing relationships between the two nations following the elevation of ties to a community of shared future. Party General Secretary Tô Lâm called for deeper political trust, regular exchanges, and enhanced cooperation between their military forces, stressing the importance of peaceful resolutions of disagreements and maintaining regional stability. Senior Lieutenant General Giang affirmed China's commitment to strengthening cooperation with Vietnam, contributing to the Vietnam-China community of shared future. Earlier, Minister of National Defense General Phan Van Giang met with Vice Chairman of the Central Military Commission of China, Giang. The minister emphasized the importance of maintaining regular high-level contacts and establishing cooperation mechanisms. He called for strengthening collaboration in party work, political activities, young officers exchanges, and exploring opportunities in defense industry and military trade. Regarding maritime issues, the minister stressed the need to resolve disputes peacefully based on international law, fully implementing the DOC and working towards an early signing of the Code of Conduct, or COC. Senior Lieutenant Giang acknowledged that the two countries' defense ministries have effectively implemented their leaders' shared vision, enhancing defense cooperation in a practical and meaningful way. At the conclusion of the talks, both sides agreed to further boost defense collaboration. On Thursday local time, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính delivered an important speech at the 2024 BRICS Expanded Leaders Meeting in Kazan, Russia. The event was hosted by Russian President Vladimir Putin, who is also the chair of BRICS 2024. The event was attended by over 40 leaders and representatives from BRICS members, invited nations, and international organizations.
In his speech, the Vietnamese Prime Minister emphasized that the world is entering a new era of connectivity, integration, smart technology, and innovation. However, humanity faces unprecedented challenges such as climate change, resource depletion, aging populations, geopolitical instability, increased conflicts, inequality, and divisions. These global issues require a comprehensive and collective approach that prioritizes multilateralism and international solidarity. He highlighted the need to build a rule-based international order. The Prime Minister also proposed 5 strategic connections to help BRICS contribute to a better world, emphasizing the bloc's role in uniting developing countries. The 5 strategic connections are resource connectivity, strategic infrastructure connectivity, global supply chain connectivity, people-to-people connectivity, and governance reform connectivity.
Theo Nga Maxim Gorky đã nhấn mạnh
Russian poet Maxim Gorky emphasized that each nation, each country is an indispensable part of a great human body, and only together can we achieve true progress. With this spirit, I believe BRICS will unite even more, harness its internal strength, and work together to build a peaceful, stable, cooperative, and developing world. The late Vietnamese president, hero of national liberation and a world cultural icon, Ho Chi Minh stated, "Unity, unity, great unity, success, success, great success." Vietnam is ready to cooperate with BRICS and the international community to realize the idea of building a better world together.
The Prime Minister also reaffirmed Vietnam's pursuit of a non-aligned policy known as 4 no's, no military alliances, no siding with one country against another, no foreign military bases or use of Vietnamese territory to oppose other countries, and no use or threat of force in international relations.
Now, on the evening of October the 23rd, local time, during the expanded BRICS Leaders Summit in Russia, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính met with Laos General Secretary and President Thongloun Sisoulith, as well as Chinese General Secretary and President Xi Jinping.
During his meeting with Laos General Secretary and President Thongloun Sisoulith, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính congratulated Laos on successfully hosting the 44th and 45th ASEAN summits and pledged Vietnam's continued support. President Thongloun thanked Vietnam for its comprehensive assistance, particularly in preparation for Laos ASEAN chairmanship in 2024. The leaders agreed to accelerate key economic projects linking Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia, while expanding cooperation in defense, security, and trade. They also reaffirmed their commitment to strengthening the special solidarity and comprehensive cooperation between their two countries.
In his meeting with Chinese General Secretary and President Xi Jinping, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính reaffirmed Vietnam's priority to strengthen ties with China. He urged both countries to enhance cooperation across various sectors, particularly in transport connectivity, emphasizing the need to expedite the construction of 3 standard gauge railway lines linking Vietnam and China. President Xi expressed satisfaction with the growing China-Vietnam relationship and stressed the importance of enhancing cooperation in the spirit of "for goods" and existing agreements. He also pledged to direct Chinese agencies to boost transport connectivity between the two countries to further integrate their economies.
During his visit to the Russian Federation, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính held meetings with Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and Uzbek President Shavkat Mirziyoyev.
Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính expressed his pleasure at meeting Turkish President Erdogan again. He affirmed Vietnam's commitment to its friendship and cooperation with Turkey and hoped that Turkish businesses would increase their investments in Vietnam. Turkish President Erdogan congratulated State President Lương Cường on his new role, expressing deep admiration for Vietnam's development achievements. He also thanked Vietnam for supporting Turkey's status as ASEAN dialogue partner. The two leaders agreed to increase high-level exchanges and contacts, aiming to elevate and deepen bilateral relations. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính conveyed State President Lương Cường invitation for Turkish President Erdogan to visit Vietnam soon, an invitation the Turkish president gladly accepted.
At the meeting with the President of Uzbekistan, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính emphasized the importance of relations with traditional friends, including Uzbekistan. He expressed hope for continued promotion of the political foundation and increased visits and exchanges between delegations at all levels. The president of Uzbekistan affirmed Vietnam's status as a reliable partner in Asia, expressing admiration for Vietnam's achievements in innovation and socio-economic development. He also hoped Vietnam would serve as a bridge for Uzbekistan to expand cooperative relations with ASEAN. The two leaders agreed to step up the legal basis for further economic and trade cooperation. They also decided to broaden cooperation in potential areas such as oil and gas, education and training, culture, tourism, people-to-people exchanges, and research into establishing a direct flight between the two countries.
Now, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính held meetings with the Director General of Zaporizhzhia Oil Company and the Director General of Russia's Rosatom State Atomic Energy Corporation in Kazan, Russia, on Thursday local time, were there to attend the expanded BRICS summit.
In his meeting with the Director General of Zaporizhzhia Oil Company, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh affirmed that oil and energy cooperation symbolizes the close and effective collaboration between the two countries. Prime Minister Chinh expressed his desire for both sides to explore new areas of cooperation, including tourism, green and clean energy, and infrastructure development to support energy and oil and gas cooperation. The Director General of Zaporizhzhia agreed with the Vietnamese government leader's guidance and affirmed the firm's commitment to working closely with Petro-Vietnam to realize these proposals.
At the meeting with Alexei Likachev, Director General of Russia's Rosatom State Atomic Energy Corporation, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh emphasized Vietnam's commitment to comprehensive cooperation with Russia. They discussed the potential for applying nuclear energy for peaceful purposes. The Prime Minister expressed appreciation for Russia's support in designing and operating the Dalat nuclear reactor and developing the Vietnam-Russia Tropical Center, both of which contribute to Vietnam's socio-economic growth. He also highlighted Rosatom's ongoing assistance in technology transfer and training high-quality personnel, including experts, engineers, and skilled workers, for Vietnam's peaceful nuclear energy industry.
Now, also on the same day, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính held separate meetings with Kazakh President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev, Turkmen President Serdar Berdimuhamedov, and Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. More to follow.
During his meeting with Kazakh President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính emphasized Vietnam's commitment to deepening the traditional friendship and multi-phase cooperation with Kazakhstan. Kazakh's President Tokayev took this occasion to congratulate State President Lương Cường on his new role and expressed his desire to welcome Party General Secretary Tô Lâm and State President Lương Cường to Kazakhstan soon. Both leaders agreed to enhance high-level changes, boost economic, trade, and investment cooperation.
During a discussion with Turkmen President Serdar Berdimuhamedov, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính expressed Vietnam's desire to strengthen traditional ties across all sectors. Both leaders agreed to implement measures to enhance their long-standing relationship, focusing on increasing delegation exchanges, high-level contacts, and finding solutions to boost bilateral economic cooperation.
In a meeting with Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính highlighted the similarities between the two countries in their national liberation struggles. He expressed Vietnam's intention to enhance multi-phase cooperation with Ethiopia, a key partner in Africa, and proposed strengthening collaboration in trade, investment, and agriculture. The Ethiopian Prime Minister praised Vietnam's socio-economic development achievements and recognized its significant role on the international stage.
Lawmaking remained the focus on the fourth working day of the 15th National Assembly's 8th session on Thursday. Legislators review a proposal and verification report on amendments and supplements to several articles of the health insurance law. More to follow.
During the group discussions, most deputies expressed agreement with and high appreciation for the amendments to the health insurance law. Notable practical changes include eliminating referral requirements for severe and critical illnesses and expanding coverage for medical examination and treatment costs.
I highly appreciate the government for preparing 4 policies. Among them are 2 that I find very practical. The first is adjusting health insurance benefits to align with contributions. If we can achieve this, it would be excellent. The second one is adjusting medical examinations according to professional levels. I think these 2 elements are very effective.
The amendments to this law are seen as a way to improve the health insurance system. Deputies also suggested adjusting certain regulations to align with the law.
I highly appreciate the government for preparing 4 policies. Among them are 2 that I find very practical. The first is adjusting health insurance benefits to align with contributions. If we can achieve this, it would be excellent. The second one is adjusting medical examinations according to professional levels. I think these 2 elements are very effective. The expansion of additional benefits must be carefully considered. At a committee meeting, I also mentioned that we should limit changes affecting finances and expenditures, as a comprehensive evaluation of the health insurance fund is needed.
Developing primary and specialized healthcare can ensure that people don't have to travel to big cities for treatment. The health sector has implemented various solutions at higher levels to develop local healthcare systems. We assign doctors to difficult districts and successfully deploy medical services to remote areas. Economic recovery programs also focus on developing local healthcare. The draft law amends and supplements 40 articles regarding participants in the health insurance scheme, their duty to pay premiums, and benefits from the scheme.
Coming up next on VTV News. Urgent telegram issued on Typhoon Chami response. And Giang's 2024 Buckwheat Flower Festival draws tourists. Welcome back to VTV News. To respond to the complicated developments of Typhoon Chami, on Thursday, the Prime Minister issued a telegram requesting forces and cities from Thanh Hóa to Phú Yên to perform several tasks. These include closely monitoring and updating forecast information on storms, rains, and floods to promptly direct response work according to the 4 on-site motto. The telegram also emphasizes ensuring safety for sea and island activities, guiding vehicles and boats to avoid dangerous areas, and taking measures to protect boats in anchorage areas. Furthermore, authorities are instructed to review and implement safety measures for tourism, aquaculture, and fishing activities in sea and coastal areas. They are also advised to proactively ban fishing boats, transport ships, and tourist boats from going to sea. Finally, the telegram calls on ministries and branches to effectively respond to Typhoon Chami, prioritizing the safety of people's lives, facilities, and production. Central Highlands provinces are home to diverse ethnic communities. In recent years, many security and auto models have been established thanks to effective communication and mobilization efforts by localities. These models contribute significantly to ensuring security and supporting local socio-economic development. Join us in a story in a remote commune of Đắk Lắk province.
11 members of the Ia Krung village security team in Air Sun commune, Krongbuk district in Đắk Lắk province, take turns patrolling local coffee fields in preparation for the harvest season.
During harvest time, agricultural products were also stolen. Ever since the patrol team started their duties, the village has seen no crimes.
Drug-related crimes and alcohol-addicted youth causing public disturbances and rampant theft once plagued the village. To combat this worrying trend, local authorities established the Ia Krung Village Security Team in 2018.
This team has provided significant assistance to the local police force. They serve as a crucial link between the community and the local police. The members of the team are young, energetic, and united. They have helped authorities solve many cases.
The Ia Krung Village Security Team also regularly monitors the living conditions of local households. They have made recommendations to higher authorities, resulting in the construction of new homes for poor families.
The Ha Giang Buckwheat Flower Festival is one of the province's most attractive cultural events. This annual celebration is eagerly anticipated every late autumn and early winter, the time when buckwheat flowers bloom and are the most beautiful on the Dong Văn Stone Plateau. More on this in the following story.
Every year around September, Ho Mi Yu's family in Cang Tang Village, Lũng Cú Commune, Dong Văn District, busy themselves preparing land for sowing buckwheat flowers. This year, his family has dedicated an entire hill, over 2,000 square meters, to growing flowers.
My family grows buckwheat flowers to attract tourists and earn extra income.
October marks the end of autumn and the beginning of winter, bringing a crisp chill to the air. This season also heralds the blooming of buckwheat flowers, which shimmer across the rocky plateau.
This is my first time in Vietnam and I chose to visit Ha Giang. I learned about this place years ago on the internet and today I feel very happy.
In the first 9 months of 2024, Ha Giang province welcomed nearly 2.5 million tourists, up 0.5% year-on-year, and reaching 77.1% of the annual target. It is expected that in the fourth quarter of this year, the number of tourists will increase sharply.
We have directed travel companies to continue organizing events and improving service quality. Traditional cultural festivals need to be promoted.
Beyond its majestic natural scenery, Ha Giang captivates tourists with its unique traditional ethnic cultures that are still preserved and promoted today. This cultural richness has contributed to Ha Giang's recognition as Asia's leading cultural destination in 2024.
Coming up next on our world news. South Korea and US begin large-scale joint air exercise. And European Commission prioritizes EU enlargement. South Korea and the United States launched a large-scale joint Air Force exercise amid heightened tensions on the Korean peninsula in recent weeks. The Freedom Flag exercise will take place at multiple air bases in South Korea and will involve about 110 aircrafts, including South Korean F-35A stealth fighters and F-15K fighters, as well as US F-35B, F-16, and MQ-9 drones. The Royal Australian Air Force will also join the exercise with a KC-30A multi-role refueling transport aircraft. This week, the exercise will focus on aircraft deployment and tactical planning, and next week, flight drills. This is the first time the Freedom Flag exercise has been held. North Korea has consistently opposed joint military exercises between South Korea and the United States in the region. The enlargement of the EU is the top priority on the bloc's agenda. European Commission's EC President Ursula von der Leyen reaffirmed this during her visit to Albania on Thursday. At a joint press conference with Albanian Prime Minister Edi Rama, the EC's president stated that the EU now has all the necessary tools to promote the membership expansion process. Previously, at the BLED Strategic Forum held in Slovenia on September the 2nd, Ursula von der Leyen emphasized that EU enlargement is not just a goal, but also a strategic investment in the bloc's collective strength and security. The International Monetary Fund (IMF) has warned of risking risks of public debt and called on policymakers to make sustainable and prudent fiscal adjustments. Speaking at a press conference on the sidelines of the 2024 annual meetings of the IMF and the World Bank in Washington, Victor Gaspar, director of the IMF's Financial Affairs Department, said that global public debt is expected to exceed $1,000 billion this year. He emphasized that global public debt, along with budget deficits, which are already very high, are likely to continue to increase and pose risk. He also noted that about a third of countries in the world will see public debt increase higher and faster than before the pandemic. 2 weeks before the U.S. presidential elections, as many as 21 million Americans have already cast their vote in the middle of an intense election campaign between the two candidates, Vice President Kamala Harris from the Democratic Party and the former President Donald Trump from the Republican Party. Early voting not only eases the pressure on election day, but also has a profound impact on each candidate's campaign strategy.
Most states in the U.S. allow early voting. In Georgia, more than 1.7 million voters have already cast their ballots, and in Nevada, early voting sites are packed.
Well, it's important to me to vote, and I always do early voting to make sure that I'm able to vote, because on voting day I have to work.
Millions of mail-in ballots are being carefully counted. For people like Erica who are critically ill, voting by mail is the optimal option.
I was disappointed when my last vote was not counted. Voting early by mail this time helps me ensure my right to vote.
Early voting is also incredibly important for minority communities in remote areas.
We are a very small town. If we vote more, we will be heard and get what we want.
Voters are casting their ballots early. This could change the course of this election. Both candidates understand that each early vote is a step closer to victory.
Now let's have a look at the weather forecast. And that's all for VTV News. To rewatch our program, you can download VTVgo from App Store or Google Play, or visit our YouTube channel, VTV4Go. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you at 3 p.m. local time.